Hello, myself Sunil R and here basically we are talking about one topic that is basically the earthquake. Actually, just now, basically, just few minutes before only, I thought that I should discuss this earthquake topic. So the earthquake topic says that uh, I will take one example from this. Basically, this will be more clear. Basically, uh, one we basically already discussed that. Caste basically is created for some specific task in the universe that basically we have just already discussed that this earth planet is going to move to that side, and that time basically the earth planet is going to move that side, and that side basically this caste for 5 crore basically example we are taking, that energy basically is going to be used. So that example basically we have already taken. Now here the question is, the earth planet is going to move that side, the energy is going to be taken, going to be used of the these 5 crore people, right? This basically we have seen this, but before this there are lots of process basically in earth planet. This 5 crore people have to do. Then basically that the architect basically of the earthquake basically he told that what actually the basically before universe you reach to before your energy basically reaches to the universe, you have to do lots of tasks basically. Then he basically explained what actually task. For example, assume that this 5 crore people energy basically is taken. Then as per the writer basically who basically writes, basically in this earth planet the main role is of the writer basically how they writes. So the writer basically that are by default Bollywood, and real people don't stay in Mumbai. So all in front of the world it's Mumbai. So Bollywood groups basically writes the each and everything basically of the story of the cast. So here basically I'm taking example of this 5 crore. So 5 crore people are going to be used in the universe, but before that basically lots of process are there. So just see basically the dangerous level of role basically of the writers are. And in this basically the energy writer plays the main role basically. Who actually are basically the ONGCs, IPCL, Reliance. That's why basically they are big millionaire basically. They are the all the basically the Reliance, IPCL, Ames Oxygen. These all are basically the most richest person in the India basically. Why? Because they are doing up to that level task basically. I will take one example basically. Assume that this 5 crore people energy is basically getting used, and they already created as a human, and then basically their generation basically started, and their journey basically started from age of assume that the age of from 22 basically their journey started. All basically age are 22, girls, female, male. So like this basically they started their journey from 22 age. The writer basically told that basically we will start the journey of the human souls, these human souls basically that are basically 5 crore from 22 age. Now basically they told that basically for that basically they need the human needs also basically. They directly basically they can't have their energies and their human needs basically, that is not possible, right? So first they need the support of some group basically. They need the support of group, right? Basically without that basically it's not possible. So what the basically writer told that which energy basically they should start with, means which human needs basically they should consume, and how basically their journey basically should start from the 22 age. They literally basically they just see basically the dangerous level is. Just now basically I got this idea of the earthquake basically. So they told basically that which is that first which is that human needs basically that 22 age people basically should start basically. Then basically he took lots of option basically. Can we take this caste as data? Can the caste data means this caste basically is using this all basically data, so we can use this data. Data means human needs basically. For example, vegetables they are using this table, they are using this fruits, they are using this this foods they are using. For example, South Indian people gets dosha, idli, sambar, chutneys, avials, lots of things basically are there. Like Gujarati basically use khaman, dhokla, bhajiyas, samosas, and lots of things basically use dal, bhat, roti, sabji. Like this basically, these all are each and every caste basically have the uh, basically have their human needs basically. On the base of that only basically their energy gets generated in the environment. So basically, I am literally telling you each and every caste have to basically literally have to take care of their foods basically. Why that also basically we will discuss basically what actually why the reason is because uh, now basically each and every caste basically is having their foods according to that food only the human needs basically getting generated and their energy is getting generated and they are basically getting used. So this is basically now here the main thing is there 22 people basically 22-year age people on the identity age they started their journey. That is basically 5 crore people. Now here the question is without foods basically they can't stay. Without money they can't stay. So money help basically government basically told that we have basically allocated the World Bank basically has already allocated that these 5 crore people are going to take birth. So just give 5 crore people basically this much money. So they basically what done? 22 was age where when basically they got the birth. So just see the dangerous thing basically. I am literally telling you it's a very dangerous. The bank accounts basically also created on the age of 22 and their each and every identity to date of birth also basically got like this each and everything basically was submitted by the government. So assume that that government. So just see the role of the government basically. Here basically we are telling that it's a Indian government basically, or basically any government, USA government, any government basically. It can be any government, na? But this type of system basically is there basically. Reasons are there basically for the system basically because if any system gets created then basically there is a reason. So this basically like this basically the government each and everything basically created bank account created like this they allocated the money also. They basically place assume that they are controlling from the they basically came from assume that they all came from particular train or particular boat or particular plane basically. That journey basically started assume that I got from the plane or from boat all basically came all are basically controlling by computers, software computers basically. Each and everything basically are programmed and they are basically controlled by computers. So like this basically they started the journey they basically account opened like this basically assume that from 5 crore few people basically was placed in India, few were basically were placed in America, few placed in Australia, few were basically were placed in Pakistan, few basically were placed in the South Africa, few were placed in the Peru, Peru. Lots of people say that it's a Peru. So let's see here this all are the basically country where basically they have placed according to the climate environment basically according to the climate environment. So these people are placed that who knows normal people can understand that this person basically which is coming in front of you he's basically started his journey he basically got the birth on the age of 22. Normal piece of people basically can understand that this person which is coming in front of you he is basically human clone and he basically started his journey from 22 age. So just see how dangerous it is basically how dangerous it is. So he's started his journey like this basically each and every country basically told that basically we have placed these people we have placed those people basically. So like this basically the set of groups basically was created to guide this all 5 crore people, because they are basically into the lots of people basically who basically are experienced people basically of the energy creation group basically. So they basically know that that these all people basically who are coming, they are basically specifically created for this energy creation, which is basically our planet is going to move to this side. That time basically the energy is going to create. So that group basically is 100% going to guide that people basically. So who are those people basically? That basically who guides the this help people basically. The first basically they told that basically government people basically mostly, but the nowadays basically government people don't interfere in this. So they basically have created a few private people. So the private people basically give the guidance that eat this food, eat that food, eat this food, eat that food. So literally when they will start eating the foods, basically 100% they are going to get disease. Without disease, basically the journey basically never starts. So they basically got disease, and wherever basically they were placed by the boat, by the plane, by the each and every guide group, basically you can say guidance people basically, guidance people basically, and basically they are basically literally watched by the government with the help of the energy getting software basically. That these people are here, each and every 5 crore people are basically tracked. So like this, basically they started their journey. Like each and every people guide them. Doctors basically got connected with this 5 crore within just 1 month only. And the doctors basically told that basically yeah, basically this 5 crore people address is here. Then basically they got the address also in the computer, because they got disease, and like this basically each and everything happened, and like this basically the medicine was given, and that medicine actually started the journey of this 5 crore people. So the medicine basically says that 5 crore people basically which are going to generate the energy in this particular area, their journey basically started. So like this basically the journey started. It might be different story also, because there are many writers basically who writes the stories basically. So they are basically Bollywood. This just basically I take as an example basically, that like this basically the journey starts. But the professional writer writes basically in professional way basically. Nobody basically can able to track it also. But here basically you can easily able to track. That's why basically I had told him. So like this type of also things are basically there in the world basically. So like this basically now basically the process basically started of these 5 crore people, and the energy department told that first their energy basically is supposed to used in this purpose basically. In this purpose means what actually that purpose? The sequence can be anything basically. That basically depend upon the writer basically how he writes. Here basically we are just taking as an example basically, but the sequence can be anything basically, and the story also can be anything. So he told that basically we will do one thing. We will place these people basically in human need creation. Human need creation basically. Then they told that basically which human need creation we can create, give them basically as a human need creation energy process. Then they told that basically there are many human needs basically. Oil is there, petrol is there, vegetables are there, fruits are there basically. Many things are basically there. We can't allocate the thing. Then they told that basically if we start with the journey of tree seeds, their energy their body basically is going to generate tree seeds, and from the tree seeds basically we will have the trees basically from that seeds basically which they are going to have from their human body. So like this 5 crore people basically generated one trees, set of trees basically, and like this basically their journey started. Like this basically their journey basically started, and like this the each and every air of the seeds basically connected to the whole world. Like this basically each and every country basically energy group basically checked that this air basically which is coming of this particular seeds data, they are basically can be used in which all aspects basically. So first country basically told that basically we can use them in a vegetable process. Then another country told that basically we can use them in fruits. So like this basically they started their journey in the human needs basically. Few basically told that basically we can use their energy from in weapon creation. Weapon creation means missiles basically. Missiles basically are also created from the human body generation, only, human body energy only. Many less, most of people basically of the army group basically might be knowing that their energy weapon basically are coming from which blood groups, which all blood groups. So like this basically we can use their data in the weapon creation also basically. Like this their journey started basically, then basically they told that basically after thing each and everything basically gets creates, then we can use their body energy from in the building stability. Means the building is not supposed to move left, not supposed to move right. Like this also basically we can use that there we can like this basically we can use their body energies. So like this, basically they literally use this their body energy like this also. Then each and assume that there are around 1,500 or 1,600 process basically. 1,500 and 1,600. Assume that it's a 1,500 process basically. 1,500 process basically they have to clear, and there after that basically their human body can be used, human body energy can be used. And these people basically 5 crore people basically are not supposed to die also. That also basically was the condition of the requirement of the energy group basically. Just see. So they were given special care basically, special care basically. That death basically data basically was with this all companies basically. They told that basically two nuclear companies are there who are basically handling this 5 crore death data, death data. So whenever death is going to happen, these energy companies are going to send the data. So that is also basically one part that also we are going to discuss. So like this, they are not supposed to die also. They are not supposed to die also. Like this basically they are not supposed to die also. This also basically they told. So then basically what happened, then the things basically happened is they have told that basically 1,500 circle journey basically has completed. Now basically you can use their energy in the satellite area basically. Satellite area means they told that you can use their energy in pushing of the earth planet. First, they told that we can use their energy basically in astronaut pushing basically. So astronaut is basically moving in the Earth planet, sorry, in the universe. So we can use their energy in the astronauts. Then they told that basically these are basically blood groups basically we can use. Their blood group basically are also basically totally different. But why different? Because in all direction basically their data has to be used of the Earth planet. That's why basically. That's why basically they placed it in the each and every different country direction basically. This side, this side, this side, that side, which side, each and every direction of the Earth planet. So like this basically they told that basically like this we have done. And then at last basically the Earth planet basically they are able to push. This basically takes time. No? It's not 1 or 2 day process basically. That's why basically they started their journey from 20 to age. The birth basically was the age was basically 22. Like this is they started their journey. Just see basically what is the things going to happen. And we assume that when the 5 crore people are basically normal, and their nasbandi is also not done, and like this basically they can have a birth also. Basically. No doctor basically has done the nasbandi of any of the 5 crore people. So like this basically next generation is also going to happen of their people. This all basically are requirement basically. So before any basic, that's why basically hospitals basically are taken care very by the governments directly basically. That's why basically the hospitals basically are taken care directly. Whose person's husband is supposed to do, whose person husband is not supposed to do. So that also basically we are going to discuss basically how government do this. So like this, assume that a few people says that whose nasbandi basically done in home only basically. Doctors basically comes at the home and then they do the that is basically different. That basically government don't take care, don't track it. But that we also we are going to discuss. So here the thing is basically uh, uh, assume that each and every 5 crore basically medical are basically perfectly fine. Medically, they are basically perfectly fine, and they started their journey. Earth planet also basically they pushed. Then Earth planet basically moves at the particular direction, this direction, that direction. Each and every direction basically they used their energy. Just see dangerous basically how why basically the healthcare department is there, why healthcare department take care of each and every people, why free hospitals are there basically, why each and every trust groups are basically created, because earth planet is going to move. That's why basically these 5 crore human clones are basically created. Just see. Then basically if they basically told that basically the each and everything basically we have done, and like this basically the after a certain time basically the time basically has came when the real time basically real task basically for where for the purpose basically these 5 crore people are basically created. They basically done that task and they succeeded basically in first attempt only. This is like chartered accountant basically. Lots of people basically give exam every basically for few people basically clears exam basically just in first attempt, and few people basically can't able to. I will take one example. One boy basically cleared the exam chartered accountancy in just first attempt, but her sister basically but sister basically was not able to clear. That person's sister basically was also tried, but she was not able to clear. So that basically depends upon the human blood cells basically, and uh, the capability basically you can say. That basically depend. Then basically that girl basically tried a lot. She also cleared basically, but that took basically lots of time. So that is a different thing basically. Uh, so here basically we are discussing that they succeeded in first attempt only. Then basically the caste basically groups they have basically got one caste, and they were allocated to few temples also basically. They got few books also that you have to read these books basically for the temple use purpose. You are assume that they are basically allocated to few are basically allocated to temple, few basically are allocated to the mosque, and few are basically allocated to the church, few basically allocated to the Jain Samaj, few allocated to the Parsi. Like this basically things like this basically they got succeeded, that their energy basically was able to complete the task for the which the 5 crore people basically was cloned by this software company basically. The software company told that basically we have achieved it, Now basically we can proceed their data basically, and like this basically their caste basically got the one name in the front of the world basically, in front of the name. Then basically government told that basically that this caste basically got succeeded. For then basically we need this one of the people of this caste basically. They should be become some chief minister or prime minister or president of any of the country, because they basically succeeded. So they basically told that basically we can give this face that this is the person, and we can create that this person basically was studying here, he has basically studied here, like this basically he has basically done job here, like this basically you can create one data basically. Whenever basically any people basically do inquiry, then basically they know what to answer basically they have to give. Like this basically they he become prime minister, few people basically become president because they succeeded. Like this basically their journey of the particular caste started, and then basically everybody they basically treated as a normal. But the government basically know, the group basically who actually created the human clone, they know that basically they are basically created for this particular purpose. Now here the question is, the people who knows, right? And mostly people basically who knows, they are also basically staying in our planet only, because they have done the human cloning in our planet only. So their group basically would be up to what level? Because they are only the people basically who is knowing that this person's basically is basically getting used as a human clone, and the purpose is basically our planet is going to move this side basically. So this entire chain basically, who knows their values and their work basically, and there basically there is no value of money basically. They literally basically say that we can print n number of money basically, whatever money basically we want, because they are doing the task up to that level basically, right? Their tasks are up to that level basically. So there basically I think money basically totally might be getting printing differently. Their money basically might be getting printing differently totally other than their this group's money basically. Then one person told that basically they also basically might be purchasing from this mall. They also purchasing my that particular shop. That is same thing basically. Same thing basically. But they purchase particular products basically. For example, one normal person who is earning, assume that 30, 40,000, he can't he can't basically do the dinner of 7,000, 8,000. But the person basically who is having salary more than 5 lakh, 6 lakh per month basically, he can basically afford 7 to 8,000 rupees dinner. He can basically afford 5 to 7,000. So same way basically the product basically which they purchase, they are up to that level basically. Normal people basically can't purchase it. Few people says that this wine basically is costing 300 rupees. Then one person told that this wine is basically costing 1 crore rupees. So 300 rupees and 1 crore. So it's a huge difference basically. So this basically is a product basically you can say. Those people only can purchase who basically have a certain level of money with it. So this basically is the topic basically, that is basically the chain of the human creation and the human cloning creation, who basically knows and up to the level basically they are basically getting the each and every utilities, and which all are the groups basically where they are staying in the earth planet, how basically their lifestyle is, how their groups are there, and each and everything basically are like a normal lifestyle basically, right? They might be not be having the different lifestyle, right? They might not be staying in some other country, They might not be staying in other cities only. Basically, it might not be there, right? Mostly, it might not be there. Basically, they have to be stay with between the public only. But their product creation, their human needs basically are totally different. Their lifestyle basically are totally different. So here actually we are discussing that 5 crore basically human clone got the birth, and the age of the birth basically started from 22. So they basically got the information that basically uh, there are certain level activities happen in that city. That's why basically you are basically supposed to move from that city, and lots of things has happened. That's why basically your brain is not able to remembering the set of tasks. Like this many story basically has created, and then basically things like this also basically are there, and few people says that they basically remember everything. That type of basically human clone basically has created. So basically here the thing is basically which is that computer company basically, software company basically, who might be having this 5 crore data. Mostly that company basically, lots of people says that it might be some IBM, it might be some Microsoft, but this whole computer basically might not be, they are basically getting used for the normal public, right? They are getting used for the normal public basically, we can say. For normal public basically, their computers are basically, softwares are basically getting used. So the software company mostly might be connected with the nuclear power company. Mostly basically company might be connected with the nuclear power company. So here the companies are totally different software companies, and that basically software company basically what task they are going to do, what they are doing, that basically we are going to discuss in next part basically. Up to what level these software companies are, mostly they might be registered, they basically mostly they might have registered the name also. Without registration basically it's not possible. So assume that they have registered the company name also, and they are doing basically certain level of creating the certain level of task basically. So what is that thing basically, each and everything basically we are going to discuss. So this is basically the one of the dangerous story basically we can say. The set of tasks basically which is have which basically is going to happen in the universe and on the base of the Earth planet. That basically how many people knows, and what basically the system, each and everything basically, it connects to very dangerous level. Not connects to dangerous level, but very dangerous level. So one of the normal person told that basically it's very dangerous in our planet. Basically. Then basically a few people says that it's very secure. Basically. Few people says that it's the secure life. So like this basically, this is also one of the part of the attraction, and which generation is supposed to go next and which generation is not supposed to go next. That we are discussing in next topic. Basically, we are going to see the few achievement of the software companies.